Good beta changes? Wait, what? Oh. Oh! Oh, shit! Oh! 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 Update to Polestar Field stack generation. Now requires 3 hits for 1 stack. For reference, a team with Sandrone, Chichi, Beto, EI now averages 5 to 6. This is so good! Wait, they fixed the reaction! Actually. I told you like 4 hours ago. Well, I didn't pay attention, okay? This is so good, actually. This is great for the design of the reaction. It's a Sino nerf, not a Sino buff. It's a nerf to every Stellar Conduct theme. It's a pretty big nerf to every Stellar Conduct team, actually. But it's a good design decision. Well, you pull for Yai? No, definitely not. Which is the main reason why I'm not sure if I'll pull for Sandrone. Like, if you need Yai for her teams, then I'm not pulling for her. If they give you alternatives, then probably I will pull for her. Like, maybe if I didn't have Sino, I could see the banner and be like, well, you know, if I lose the 50-50, I'm basically guaranteed to get a character I don't already own. So, like, I won't feel as bad about getting Yai. But since I already do have Sino, I just, yeah. Expectation for Winegrass? I'm not sure, but the latest beta changes have made me hopeful. Like, design-wise, there were very good changes. Balance-wise, I'm still not sure how to feel about them, but design-wise, they were very good. What changed? They made it so that capping out the Stellar Conduct field multiplier is not trivial anymore. Which actually gives a dynamic element to the team building with the elemental system. I don't think it's quite as interesting as the fucking 1.0 or the Dendro reactions, but it sure is better than lunar garbage. In other words, introduce a problem to be solved with another unit. I mean, not really. Like, kind of, but like, I don't know. That's like if they released Hu Tao before Singto and they were like, well, they designed a problem, just like, kind of, but like, unless you want the teams to literally just be the lunar garbage again, you need to have some sort of interaction that is going to favor some characters and not others. You know, like, I don't want boring things, I want interesting things. Do you think this Stellar Conduct stack mechanic is cool? It is somewhat interesting. Like, it's not that cool in a vacuum, but it is cool as one of the many elements that come into play together to build an elemental system. I think it's a fine addition to the reactions. Because you're effectively getting a reaction that cares about a different type of like elemental interactions, elemental application, whatever, than what we have right now. And the more different things we have, the better when it comes to like how fun the system is to engage with. Didn't Colombina trivialize the one interesting thing about Lunar Bloom teams, due generation? I mean, yes and no. Like, she kind of did trivialize it, but the problem was already there because Llama's Holdy was just never worth using in Nefer teams without Colombina, and now it's always worth using. It hasn't really changed anything, right? Because like you're like the idea you're bringing forward is that the Verdant Dew is a resource that you have access to, and there's opportunity cost to using it because that means you can't use it on other characters. But if there's only 2 characters that can use them, and it's very obvious which one you should use it on, then the opportunity cost isn't really there. It's just that the ability doesn't exist for those teams. And that's not that interesting. So Colombina trivializing the Verdant Dew generation thing doesn't really change anything, because it didn't matter to begin with. If there were situations where using Llama's Holdy was worth it without Colombina, then maybe. Yeah, exactly. Like, you went from having one good option to having one good option. It just removed the illusion of choice. That's it. Yeah, and it just made the one option that you're supposed to do feel good to use instead of feeling bad to use. Like, if anything, I'd say it was good. It did remove a lot of design space for future Lunar Bloom units, But, like, are they really ever gonna make another Lunar Bloom unit? I don't know. I mean, if they're just gonna make a new fucking celestial body type reaction every new region, then probably not. We'll probably never have another Lunar Bloom unit again. Yeah, like, what's the last unit we had that had Night Soul? Was it Varessa? I guess Aoife. Like, once we're out of the region at this point, it feels like they're kind of just letting the letting the mechanics go. And, like, when's the last time we got a self HP consumption unit? Slash Bond of Life, I guess. That was Seguini, right? Like, it doesn't seem like they're really interested in reusing old gimmicks. I mean, maybe they will at some point. When they run out of ideas. Yeah, like, we'll probably get a Quicken buffer at some point. Stuff like that. Although, one thing I'll say is, like, depending on how Ramgrass works, it is very possible that you end up playing, Electro and Dendro together with the Stellar stuff. Because, with the changes, right, you want a lot of Electro hits to keep the field high. And units that have a lot of Electro hits often also have a lot of Electro application. Although, should we think about using Dory in Stellar Conduct teams because she has a fuck ton of Electro hits? So she does a lot for the field? Probably not, right? She's kind of too garbage. Yeah, 20-second cooldown, 12-second uptime is kind of just too much of a problem. That's unfortunate, because that could have been really cool. Do you think Lohen will be any good for Stellar meta? Okay, we have a bit more information on Stellar meta now. I'm not sure. I think the main issue that Lohen might have in Stellar meta is, like, I don't know if he's gonna necessarily provide enough. Like, it's kind of difficult for me to think of a team where, it makes sense to use Lohen over a character like Sandrone.
Want to go for a spin? Here.
Like, I'm struggling to think of a kit for a support. Yeah, maybe with Stellar Swirl. But, like, with Stellar Conduct stuff, like, Lohen has less hits than Sandrone. Lohen does less damage than Sandrone. And Lohen scales with damage percent, which Stellar Conduct teams are less likely to have a lot of, right? Does he have less cryo app? He has more cryo app, but less hits, I think. Maybe he doesn't have less hits. He does have a lot of hits, actually. So, like, Sandrone is, like, what? Just 27 plus 9? Wait, actually, do Stellar Conduct damage hits count for the counter? Like, do they increment the stack counter? No? Unconfirmed. So, Sandrone either has 27 or 36 cryo hits across her, like... Well, plus the burst, right? Which is... Okay, yeah, I guess Lohen does have quite a bit more hits than she does. So, if we end up with a character that has slow off-field Electro or off-field Cryo, and you really, really care about maxing out the Stellar Conduct stacks, like, maybe the character directly scales with the amount of Stellar Conduct stacks. So, like, you deal... Like it ends up being... Like, it ends up double-dipping into the amount of stacks you have. Then maybe maxing out the stacks is, like, the most important thing. And sacrificing personal damage for stacks could be worth it. What if you recorded a video explaining Stellar and Lunar reactions like you did for when Dendro dropped? The problem is that Stellar reactions aren't really a thing. Like, we only have one, and it's not a real one. And Lunar reactions also aren't really a thing. I'm running Varessa, Yonsan, Tavors, Mawika, and can't clear water on Fearless. Am I bad? I mean, what are you struggling with? Not necessarily. Like, it is a pretty good team against the Watcher, but you need to make sure that you kill both crystals in time. And, like, if your builds are a lot worse, then, like, maybe you need a lot more time on Varessa, and then you have less time on Mawika, and if your Mawika build is also worse, then it's, like, maybe rough. Have enough damage to break the crystals, but he always lives? Okay, that seems weird. You're probably not doing enough damage, at the beginning. Like, in between the elemental recording phases, you probably need to hit him more.